Namaste. Uh, I'm on a roll with the questions, so let's get them out of the way. Let's see if I can finish up today. This is from my edited list of questions that people might have. I thought probably the goal of meditation, Rinzai Zen, one of the goals of meditation, besides eventually awakening, is that silence the mind. So if that's the goal, why can't we just do it now? Just boom, quiet. The goal of meditation is simply to disidentify with the mind, to know everything in the place you call mind, thoughts, desires, judgment, plans, worries, etc., is not the actual you, not to silence the mind. Who is asking this question after all? It's your mind. Who wants to silence it? Your mind. So why can't you silence the mind here and now? Because the desire to silence is coming from your mind, making it active and unsilent. And you think that desire is you. You think that you are your mind. Silence exists, okay? Thoughts running through your mind exist. Don't try to shut them off. Thought as if a thought faucet. Not only that will only give your mind more thoughts. Like, how do I do this? Why isn't this working? You have a thought, then you have another thought. But in between those two thoughts, there was a gap. It may have only lasted a second, but was a thoughtless gap where all was silent. You can be aware of that moment of silence. Anyone can. It takes no effort. Then a curious thing happens to you as you sit and allow your meditation to develop, to deepen. You notice that these gaps of silence more and more. You become more aware of them naturally. And as they last longer. Naturally, you come to recognize that silence is there and thoughts are there. But they are separate from each other and have nothing to do with each other. You need not to cancel one to have the other. You need not to cancel one to have the other. You become aware of what silence sounds or doesn't sound like. You feel naturally, inexorably attracted to it. You don't worry about thoughts anymore. You just enjoy resting in that silence whenever you can, for as long as you can. Imagine yourself sitting in a kitchen filled with the warm, sweet smells of cooking and people talking. You're reading a book. You've come to a rich, exciting chapter that totally captivates you. For a while, you are drawn into the story, that you become one with the story and its characters. When you finally stop reading and put the book down, you notice that for an unknown period of time, you didn't smell those wonderful cooking odors, you didn't hear voices, and were not even aware of them. Did they stop? No. They were always surrounding you, but you were so aware of the story, your awareness of the world outside you temporarily ceased. Sight, sound, smells, all gone. Notice the silence between thoughts. Become interested in it, curious about it, wanting to investigate it, and then have a look around. Let go into that silence. Your thoughts may continue, but you will not notice them, and you will discover that in silence, the only place that exists is here. And the only time that exists is now. So, what does it mean now to be completely awake? When one is completely awake, one knows one is awareness and consciousness itself. The self is ever realized. What is referred to as enlightenment is simply the end of the one who wants to realize. It's not an attainment. Nothing new is gained. Simply an illusion falls away. Illusion of subject-object. Naturally then, that's non-duality. Or duality, and then illusion is subject-object is duality, and falling away is non-duality. Naturally then, all there is subjectivity. appearing as all objects, including the object that is this body-mind. Because the me is happy to accept teaching that all is illusory, but it will always leave itself out, thus maintaining the subject-object separation. Every time there is illusion while I am real. Illusion isn't the real world, but the idea that things, objects, have a separate existence. Nobody becomes enlightened. What happens is the identification of consciousness simply ceases to be the identified separate object which falsely claims subjectivity. How come people, when they say they're enlightened, can speak out the spiritual talk but cannot explain what enlightenment is? Could it be they become just more aware and no hocus pocus actually happened? It's because it's not explainable. Yes. This is how human mind thinks. If I can't understand something, it means it doesn't exist while the world around me. If I can't make sense out of something, it means it doesn't exist. If it can't be described, defined, clearly conveyed to me in my language, it means it doesn't exist. The human mind, generally speaking, is firmly convinced that it can see, encompass, and perceive and comprehend all in this. The human mind is all of reality. It is pretty firmly convinced that nothing can possibly exist beyond its capacity to see and understand. In this, the human mind is wrong. Enlightenment exists beyond the human mind's capacity to perceive, let alone understand, let alone describe. This has been said over and over and over for hundreds of thousands of years. Your mind still won't believe it. What connects? I love what connects. What connects the spirit and the body? Is it that love that provides the bridge? And it's one of the methods in Nisargadatta Maharaj. What else? Mind creates the abyss, the heart crosses it. I am that. The one who asks and wants to know the answer falls away. That is, the experiencer, the doer, the me, that thinks it is real entity and on a journey somewhere. Thus, there is no longer in here and out there, only wholeness with one, separate from its claim, separate from it to claim it or to realize it. As Ramamana said, the self is ever realized. What is referred to as enlightenment is simply the end of one who wants to realize. It's not an achievement. Nothing is gained. Simply illusion falls away. The illusion of subject-object. Naturally then, all there is subjectivity, appearing as all objects, including the object that is the body-mind. Okay. What does spiritual awakening sound so scary? According to people, they go through, to attain this, it goes from the dark days of the night. Yes, the spiritual journey starts with basically your energy system completely rebooting. So to say you feel dissonance with everything, everyone in your life. It's a process of purification. You're letting go of everything that isn't in alignment with you. It's a journey that is going to force you to face yourself, all of yourself. It all serves its purpose. The journey is very challenging one, but after you have started walking it, you won't be able to get off it. It's a surrender to your new life, even if you can't see where it's going. What does it mean to be enlightened and still have thoughts? I don't know why people think. Consider meditation. There are styles of meditation where thought can be either slowed down, halted, or examined carefully. The idea to locate and maintain attention, which is subtler than thought. Attention is that not affected or seduced by thought or lost in digressive thought. Meditative attention can certainly coexist with thought. Eventually, meditative attention must increasingly persist throughout activity, sense, perception, mind to the present. Another Nasargadatta Maharaj. If you know you are not the mind, then what difference does it make if it's busy or silence? You are not the mind. Thank you. And finally, what does it matter if the mind is active? It is so only on the substratum of the self, below the self. Hold the self even during mental activity. So basically, they're all saying over and over again that thought is inevitable. Thought is with us. Just watch the movie. That's what I like to say. Just watch the movie. Remember, it's entertainment. For entertainment purposes only. Just be secure and grounded in yourself, your everlasting, ever-persistent Atman on your level, and Brahman. Atman is your drop of the ocean. As the wave hits the rock and the water splashes up and there's an individual drop, that's the Atman. But the Atman, it will merge back into the water, but it's never been different. The Atman is made of the exact same substance as the ocean of awareness, Brahman. So this idea of separation and division is only a very temporary illusion nevertheless, because the self, the substance that is the self within, is the self that is the substance without. The indivisible, the all-pervasive is what we're